There was a conversation where she agreed to move in after the commitment ceremony, and to hear that now she still needs a couple of days just doesn't make sense to me. That you would potentially be moving in today.
Maybe the honeymoon affected you different than it affected me, because what I was exposed to, I could not live with. It would be yet I don't. For me, it's not that I didn't want to do it.
She hasn't done it.
This had a lot to do with how, because you trusted me, and I just don't have that in you yet.
You need more space because you can't move on from what happened on the honeymoon. Trust me. Why am I just the problem? You don't think you've done anything at all wrong? Nothing.
Can we try and get to the bottom of this, like?
Yeah.
But
it's because you squashed it and then you've gone back on your word. You didn't want to. You didn't want. You told me
together.
You don't. You haven't.
Oh, Charlie, stop.
No, you stop because you're lying.
Right now, what you've just said.
Charlie, get out. Just get out. Leave. Expect that meet-up to go the way that it did. If she was, we wouldn't be here right now. She would have written a letter. She would have taken the time that she asked for, that I gave her. I just feel like a bit of an idiot. I really feel like I'm laying my heart out on the line.
Oh boy, Charlie and Eve. Now I do apologize. When I recorded this show last night, obviously I recorded and I go disappear, and then I come back and watch it, and it seems to me as if my internet was obviously interrupting every now and then, so it's kind of skipping. So I don't even know what Eve actually said, which is very annoying. But I'm assuming, I'm hoping people have watched it and maybe they can fit in that gap there, okay? But either way though, see, here's the thing, Charlie is being extra difficult. You know, I mean, listen, at first I thought Eve would be the problem. That's what I generally felt, Eve would be the problem, right? But the matter of the fact is, each time Charlie says something, she doesn't seem to stick to anything that she says. It's like, why can't you stick to the things that you say? You know, and it's one of those things when I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, if Charlie was giving her full 100%, there'll be no complaints. But also at the same time, Eve does make a very, very good point. Each time Charlie wants to express something, it is always based on what Eve has done wrong. She doesn't seem to want to take any form of accountability. And that is always a massive concern. I mean, listen, I thought that maybe these two could have had a future going forward based on the first episode. But since then, it's been downhill purely because of Charlie. So now I am surprised that they both stayed in the experiment. I'm surprised that Charlie even put in that she wanted to stay in the first place, to be honest with you, because right now she should have said leave. So why is she still here? Doesn't make any sense. But hey, I'm getting vibes that maybe like outside the experiment, maybe she's just a player, to be honest with you. Maybe she's just one of those people that just goes around, you know, sleeps with people and then keeps it moving because she has somewhat of a abandonment issue or commitment issue, shall I say? That's the one, commitment issue. But anyway, let's move on to Casper and Emma.
Waking up not next to Emma feels like the right thing to do.
Asked me how the commitment ceremony was for me, and he does like to talk about himself and like pulling himself out of it. So I'm not too hopeful.
You could have said to her, why do you think you chose her body to focus on?
It was my honest truth. I didn't want to lie. Is someone who's like saying that I said the truth.
So what do you say to yourself about your own body?
My bits. You know, don't like my nose, don't like my love handles.
Is it interesting to you then that you chose that particular issue, a person's body image, to attack in Emma?
First and foremost, why they had to keep bringing up him mentioning her body is absolutely ludicrous. At the end of the day, you know, and somebody did say this last week on the videos, that when it came to Casper, he was cornered into a situation where he had to pretty much tell her about what he didn't like, and it just happened that her body was one of those things. And now we're still in this position here where now even the expert is still cornering him in that situation. Okay, fair enough. She's trying to get to the point of saying that you two have similarities, so therefore you should hold no judgment, blah-de-da-de-da-de-da, which, listen, I do agree with, but at the same time, though, it's not going to change if he doesn't find her attractive. It's not going to change if she still isn't his type. You know, that doesn't change. Just because you put two people together who, on paper, seem to be perfect or right for each other, if one of them isn't willing to see that, that's just that. And trying to convince him that he is going to be into Emma's physique is ludicrous. Imagine that, being convinced that, hey, how this person looks is actually for you, when you know flat out that it's not for you because it doesn't do anything for you. The logic behind this is crazy. I thought this whole thing was all about matching people who are going to at least physically be attracted to each other, but then at the same time have to do a little bit of groundwork to make sure that their personalities are in line. Not to match people based on the fact that they have to now do groundwork, not only on the mental side of each other's personality, but now also on the physical side. What? What kind of experiment is this? It's like some weird science lab project where they're trying to convince the human mind to say, hey, this is what you should now find attractive. Oh my goodness gracious me. Anyway, whatever. I do feel sorry for Casper. I generally do. I feel like he's always been put in corners where he doesn't need to be put in those corners. And he's doing what he can, to be honest. Well, he's been honest. And he's doing what he can to just not word things in a horrible way. But now he's being told that he attacked her? To use the word attack? That's crazy.
That's a double standard.
Fuck's sake. I thought that the comments I made... Yeah.
Do you see that it's a double standard?
I thought that the comments I made on the honeymoon, I've been back to bed and we're moving on. And if they keep... I'm done. Hadn't met me. Okay. She's...
So yeah, before we move on to Alex and Holly over here, either way though, you know, I do feel sorry for him because now this is like 2 weeks in a row now where he's literally just being absolutely raging or annoyed because these experts or this experiment keep trying to put him in corners that he doesn't need to be in. It's like they've modeled his whole character to kind of like attack him for his image, you know, like what? Anyway, it is what it is. I mean, listen, I have said it myself that, you know, it is quite interesting that he doesn't want someone who looks the way that Emma looks, despite the fact that he's also not in shape himself. But either way, the people are still going to have their preferences, and that's just how life works. You know what I mean?
I'm done. Hadn't met me. Okay. She's already bashing who I am. And this is what annoys me. They're talking over me as well, which is going to be another boundary, but we'll get to that.
I argue it because I can't always get my thought out because by the time you finish what you're saying, we're not speaking.
Right now, I'm feeling very betrayed by Holly. And if you're not allowing me to finish my thought, how are we going to resolve this issue?
To be fair, on a personal level, I do agree with that because if I'm having a conversation or we were trying to resolve something, you've got to let me finish. Interrupting me does not make it any better. Let me finish, and then you can say, "Oh, peace." You know, we take it in turn. Let's be respectful to each other's opinions. So I do relate to that one. But anyway, let's continue.
Nobody around. It's different to how it would be handled if there's people around. It's different to how it would be handled if there's people around. Behind closed doors, we are vulnerable with each other, we're transparent with each other. However, when we get in front of a group, I feel like she puts on a bit of a show.
That we could place on the list is that whenever there is a disagreement, resolve it only between the two of you, which means that you do it in a private location.
You know what though? I'm gonna say that I don't know if I believe that she purposely tries to put on a show. I feel like she's probably used to always being on her own, fighting about her own. So she kind of maybe has this thing now when she wants to dress something, she feels like she needs people on her side to make her feel like she's going to actually no, you know what? Saying that though, that's still the same thing. No, okay, I don't feel like she purposely puts on a show, but then, you know what? Forget what I said. She does do it on purpose because she's got an option to not confront him in front of people, and if she's taking that option, that is put on the show. To be fair, never mind. Yeah. And to be fair, no one would like that. I know I wouldn't like to be put in a position where, you know, our issues are being now aired out to everybody else. Nah, that's not cool.
And time is key.
All right, let's do that. That's a good one, Alex. Okay, what's another one that you'd like to add?
That's the time. Name calling. When you called me pathetic was because you wanted to talk. I wasn't ready to talk. I was like, we will resolve it before we go to bed. I'm just
boundary that Alex just said.
I will admit sometimes I can have a potty mouth. I agree. The stare. The stare's got to stop, Alex. A deep, nasty face. It's horrible.
Like, sometimes it's not going to come out my mouth. So by me looking at you, I'm letting you know you've done something.
Alex is not your past, right?
No, I agree.
Okay, so now, Alex, anything to add on that?
They're meant to you. Now that I know, I can work on not doing it. If I'm doing the stare and it's triggering you, then I'll stop.
I'm not gonna lie to you, not doing the stairs, that's gonna be a hard thing, you know, because I know, you know, man, if I don't want to say anything, I'm just gonna give you that look. But we all do it, you know. We do it to anyone that's a parent out there. If your kid obviously oversteps, instead of saying something, you give them that look. You know, if you're a teacher, you know, and somebody does that, you give that look. If you're at work, you know, and you do something wrong, your boss is going to give you a stare. Or if you're the boss or the manager, supervisor, whatever, you're going to give the stare. Everybody has that stare. And to be fair, I like the fact that she was called out on that. And, you know, the expert said to her, listen, but Alex is not your past. You cannot judge him that way. To be fair, Alex is he's being unrealistic by saying that he's not going to do the stare, because that's not that's just a part of everybody's DNA. To be fair, everybody has a stare, you know. So yeah, and I said this before. The fact that Holly hasn't fully healed from her past, and she's looking for someone to come in and basically heal the rest of it, in my opinion, is not a good thing, because that means that there's going to be a level of that past of hers that she hasn't resolved yet, that she expects someone else to come in and help her with, that she's going to be projection on that person, expecting that person to be the one to resolve it. And it's crazy because she's the one that said, oh, you know, she wants a man who can tell her to calm down, you know, and she doesn't even actually give Alex a chance to even do that, to be fair. But again, her approach to certain things aren't great, but she did admit that she has got a mouth that isn't exactly, you know, the best at times, which is good that she understands that, and she has that accountability. So the question is this: can she handle her the way she addresses herself, the same way that she wants him to handle the way he looks at her when he's unhappy? Because if anything, the stare that he gives her will be projected from the attitude that she gives out. Do you see what I'm saying? And also, I want to say, this is the first time I've seen Holly without makeup. And to be fair, she's a very, very beautiful woman. But, you know, I mean, listen, when I see people with makeup, I'm like, oh, but she's... Anyway, with that being said, though, let's continue.
Slightly.
Yeah.
I would, because I know you're such an emotional person, I kind of just, I put you first.
Don't forget yourself.
That's something I thank you for that, because I really do need to remember to...
Yeah, about me.
Before we get into the last couple here, obviously that was the one we just saw. There was Kieran and Christina. And to be fair, I do like the fact that, you know, Christina allowed Kim to know that, listen, don't ever put yourself last. You know what I mean? That's not going to be good for you. You know, make sure you're protecting yourself, and that's a very key thing, very, very key thing. So remember that. Anyway, let's get into the last two, Lacey and Sasha.
Something I thank you for that, because I really do need to remember to...
Yeah, about me.
Okay. Yeah, so my favourite thing about you is, it's a lot really, isn't there? But like, you've got a good smile, you're very good looking. Like your personality. Yeah, I like your personality. My favourite thing about you is personality. Okay. That's the answer.
All right. It's because, you know, used to in the past, guys saying, oh, like your bum or your body, you know, and I want deeper than that. I'm
not going to lie to you, I don't know how Lacey and Sasha are still in this, to be honest with you. I honestly was very wishful thinking that these two are going to work. I mean, listen, some people, their relationships are slow burners. I completely respect that, completely get that. But Sasha knows that she wants a man that can really come in there and really, you know, whip her off her feet. A man that can really come in and really give her what she wants, like, immediately. You know, someone that comes in and really shows the actions of, okay, he likes me, he's always asking me about this, Meanwhile, she's dealing with somebody who, when you look at them, it feels like as if she has to mother him. They don't maybe when you look at them together, they may look like a couple, maybe even that's questionable. But the second that they start, you know, talking, or the way they start, as soon as they start interacting, nah, it seems to me it looks like more like a mum looking after her little son, to be honest with you. And to be fair, I would say that he probably would benefit from having a woman that would give him that kind of energy, which is maybe why they've matched him together. But I kind of feel like the experts have matched him with somebody that he needs, but they haven't matched her with somebody that she needs, and that's the clash. Personally, she needs someone who's a man's man. He needs someone that's basically going to mother him. And she has those traits 100%. But what about her needs? But that's just me. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it. With that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.